tuning in all over the world. And we say Bulabinaka from Vitilevu here. And we are currently at the gymnasium. On Saturday, we had a meeting here yesterday, so we have been blessed to be able to serve you. For the last previous Saturdays, we were actually talking to you for our residents way back in Alodala Beach Estate. So, Bulabinaka to every family that have woken up this morning, still maybe lazy, on your way, making your way to the kitchen, haven't had any idea what you're going to have for breakfast this morning. Bakatala kina bekenda na bakarong ito kumay na be korokoro, na be uli ni bunua, be mata sawa, and na matakalele ni singa bakarowai, and na be mama ni bitu, and na matakan ni singa ni binaka ni kuwa.
Sawa mula to bekenda. And matakan ni sinay, and a cocoa man ni ada chiso. Ang wakang bulat gani, and nasa tinigawani ng damanua, we korokoro, we matabubale. Sakatong mga nangunti, bulabinaka. Weekend na tiko na biya sebura. So, au sa wakang bulat gani weekend. Siyamba tiko mai, live tiko na matakan ni kuwa, My TV, Channel 4, ni Walisi platform. Weekend na ganun daw talitaka, ni siataka ni laitaka. Malata na bital no ni kuwa nakasarangan daw sa tabato na nung tamata bubale. E nabi singa, be madawa, nabi bula. Kero wakang bula tugani, lomanin gymnasium, isuwa, doon ito kando ni mamibuli na leaders, iya sa ake. Ngono binakamenda bi wasitaka kina, iso na kanan daw sa tabalotu, wakamata bubale, kapatala kina wakabiotini. Bula bakay labo, na nonda bula bakabi watini bi malwai kabakatalaki na ng bula bakamatawali.
Bikim litang lang nabarong ito kumay na tonda ko kay Viti, bikim dami Amerika, New Zealand, bakatalaki na Australia, abi bonon duindui, bono ayawa, kimani bakarong ito kumay kina yuro ito kumay na noman screen, window nito ko kina bikani program, and other ito kani Viti, so bikimani bakamuria to my na program and every Saturday morning. So as you sit here together as a family, having your tea, and also having a good family time. It's always a lazy Saturday for us at home because in the morning we try as much just to go and pray together as a family. And then the rest of the day, after the duties, then they have the whole day to themselves. So it can be the same also for you. And we would like to greet you. Well, previously on the other few recent Saturdays, we have been talking to you about life, about health, and also about the investment. You know, what do you do? What can you do? Or what do you desire? What do you aspire for your family, for your future? Not only for parents who have family, or family that is already created, maybe in nuclear or extended family, but also to individual, maybe still young man, young woman, having employment, having source of money coming in, on how you can plan that to make something out of it, and also to invest, maybe in a farm, or maybe in a car, or maybe building your house, or buying, a fully a property already done, depending on the power, and also your salary that you're going to be receiving. And also, we have been sharing, weekend, full time, no pay, you don't see any salary coming, there's no tag. Nakakirawaseti ko iko sarame na koro o baka tete o baka farm. Se ke baka iko tiko nando na sangasangaloto iko lewa tiko ngani loto singin do na tunde beko kaya la kome kile na buri no milab na bika kirawaseti ko kirobe kati ko bekenda ni rawa matai ke baka iko baka bote na kalo kiroba bote na kalo. We actually believe in God, and we believe there is a God, and I know there are a lot of Christians that are also watching in, and you believe in God, you believe in this supernatural power. Well, all the more that makes it happen for you. So you not looking only at the resources of finances coming your way. You are believing that there is a God and He can do that for you. So for those of you fellow Christians listening today, and maybe you say to yourself, okay, I am a full-time worker in the church that I go to. I don't receive any salary. Welcome and congratulations. There is a first step that you have done. So it's an investment in itself. And owning a car, owning a farm, or owning a property, it's also a reality to you. Even though you don't have any form of employment, even though you don't have any salary coming your way, either weekly, fortnightly, and monthly, but you are a Christian and you believe in God. I'm bold to speak of this God and speak to the Christians today because I am also a Christian. But for those of you who do not believe in God either, you don't believe that this God exists, and you just believe in whatever that you earn, whatever that you see within your eyes, the business that you can make, or maybe you're not at work and you're not receiving resources and you don't believe in God either. We would like to encourage you today. Look around you. There is an elemental something out there that you can start with it to make it happen in your life. So we were talking about the life and the health. your life habits, your eating habits, and everything about your life. Because we can be planning so much for these years to come. Years of achievement, years of ambition in your workplace, and years of wealth. The life, to enjoy that, it's on your hand. Which means we have been emphasizing on the life and the health. In Fiji, very high cases of NCDs, which means those are the diseases that you can do something about it. You can either walk away from it, or if it's with you, it's reversible. You can do something about it. So life in itself, as a family table talk, family is not the same when one is missing. And family is not the same when something happened. Family is not the same if death comes in between. Family is not the same. It's not the meaning of the family, the full completion of a family, the full potential of a family. When one is sickly or one is not there. That is why we emphasize on the health.
You can't replace
health.
family member. When somebody passes away, you can't replace. There's no person the same to one another. So
and
if
no
your
money.
wife, if your husband, if one of your children pass away, you cannot replace, because that person is special in its own way. So we can plan life, we can plan education, we can plan achievement, we can plan owning a car, owning a house. But if we don't look after our body, then who will enjoy what we have achieved?
But since you say that, like you can plan a car, you can plan in owning or investing, I believe we should also plan for our health. You plan to, what to eat, how to live your life. You plan to sleep at the right time. And those planning are never part of the conversation before. And we would like to bring it to the table, on the family table talk. Maybe this is the time for you to take note of it. Maybe this is the time for you to say, yes, I want to live a little bit longer. I want to have a healthy life so I can enjoy it with my family.
As we discussed a few weeks ago, last week and the week before, last weekend, when we go to the doctor, it's because we're sick. We don't go to the doctor to check our life, whether it's okay, how many percentage of our kidney, our liver, our heart. Especially for us, it's okay. And the sato we matasara. Sangay la ko we pono punuay. Kenda sa aleng kasara. We don't plan that we look after our life. We don't plan that how many hours to sleep. We never talk about that. But if we go to a doctor, they will tell us the hours of rest, the amount of water that we should drink, the quality and the amount and the time of eating. Those three things. But for us, because we live in a communal setup, when we eat, we can have mountains. We can eat any kind of food and any time of the day. All these things, they can affect how we look after our body. And I believe this is the kind of talk that we're supposed to talk as husband and wife, including our children, and also in the church. We're supposed to introduce this in the church, maybe not in a sermon, but in a teaching style. So the church people, the church members, they can also live a life that becomes a good example to the people out there. Not only in our spiritual sense, but also in our physical sense. That we look good, that we are strong and healthy. So we become a good example to the people out there in the world. So when the people see the way that we carry ourselves, the people that they don't believe in God, and when they see us, they are also encouraged. But not only that, what about where we live, the house that we own, the car that we drive? And most of the time, we're supposed to be a good example in every area. And that's why it's good to talk about family talk on everything in everything. So give some lifestyle. We amend our lifestyle so we can live longer and we enjoy the life that we live.
Well, you're listening in today, maybe you're saying, okay, I'm tired of hearing all those health talk because you love your food the way it is. There are two contributing factors. Some of us, we you are capable of buying, quick food or snacks, or even McDonald's. You can even eat McDonald's every day. You are capable of doing that because according to your earning and according to your lifestyle. And even then, sometimes you stand back and you say to yourself, okay, is this healthy? There are never moments that we ask whether it's healthy. You love the taste, it's easy. Fix your problem in terms of you don't have the time to go and cook. So it's always a take out all the time. Getiko talaga so kenda sa senga banda ni bikila etiko kena na balanced diet etiko kena ka mendo banda ka kana meda kanirawa. Those are factors as well. So there are some who don't even question what it is. They just love the taste and they can afford it. Getiko so kenda kenda sa sanga menda kana na tabangan daro ni kanirawa kenda sa kania. Na tabangai tiko sa roti kenda ya. So na tikini mbula baya kenda singa ni rawa ni control ta ka sa tikini nondo bula. Iyo keba kain dandambe menda keba kana numa. So na kai roni bakabuna na bi mate sa to weekend tiko ko kero kai tiko na NCD se beauty ko bakale bi weekenda and na pepper kenda bi kai tiko na Ministry of Health and na mate sureti ko kenda na baleta ni balabala ni nondo bula na bi kai kania na nonda bakadengu na nonda garaba na nonda na ngonda ndine ne kero me tiko na investment tiko na bi kabi na kiko ron tubana no mate babale iko ron bakamboto no mate babale ko ron marota ka batike no mate babale bunga ngona ndangule daba na bula ko kenda tau kena sai ko na bula ya me na bula taka na bi kai ko tubana tiko mo marota ka batike no mate babale so iko bakarong tiko mai na bi sai viti na bi sai burbur na bataka ni singi na ko barle be keda to na tiko na tondo ko ke viti mai America England na kakana solely lai be ke mami ke ko na bakasama bakaro ko ngebole McDonald's ko ngai wili na no mulewe ni mate babale saka nga bi ko dengo yo be ke mo ni imbalate ni solely lai rawa sar la ko ngai ngai oso sunambula the takeout is always there and it's very cheap. But sometimes when you stand back, you haven't eaten any healthy food, less vegetables and all those things, and don't drink water. Nimbatan rake baka isang nangunuay, may baka na normal ngunuay, and then don't know the cover. So nimendabaka samata ko vinaka nanondabula baka it's never there. And this morning, like what we said, we'll always share and we can always share. But the decision is ours. It's not only that we are trying to tell you, hey, change your life, follow what they say. No, it's just a family table talk, sharing. We've lived our lives. We have been married for the last 37 years. We have 4 children, 7 grandchildren. And not only that, we also go to church and we believe in God. And sometimes when we receive prayer requests to pray for people in their sickness, that's when we step back and say to ourselves, okay, we are at the receiving end on what has happened, to pray for somebody to be healed so they can live longer with their family. Why don't we talk about it earlier so they can hear the message and do something about their life and they not become a prayer item, but they live their life and they enjoy it because of the decision. Not we make, the decision you will make. So that was about health and investment. Today we would like to touch a little bit on relationship. Not only for a relationship as husband and wife, your relationship with your children, and also your projection on what you have and what you have planned for your family. So we will leave all those ideas and all those topics like a generic thing for us to talk about today, the health and your life, the investment on what you're capable of doing, what are the life-changing moments for you, and also your family. What did you do to make it happen? And for your family, what can you do to address, or what have you done to make the family that you own now? And maybe if we have the time, we have a few doctors here. We have Dr. Somalo all the way from Lambasa, and also we have Dr. Mbauleka. We will try for them to come and give about 5-10 minutes spiel on health. So it's not only everything that we are saying, you are actually listening to somebody who have studied for 6 years, or you are listening to somebody who actually live their life and it's their profession. So it's good to listen directly from them. We don't want to be doctors, but we are talking about our life. We are sharing about our life, but the doctors will tell you medically what is right for you. So as we speak on the investment or whatever that you want to pick on, we will be inviting maybe a couple or two to come and share or validate what we are trying to share with you on the family table talk that they've tried, or these are the things that they've done, and it happens. Maybe you cannot find our message relatable to you. By listening to them, then you'll say, okay, if it happens in their life, also if I try, that can also be mine.
Before we go there, because we have prayer line. Eh?
Yes.
And most of the time, when we open the prayer line, whether it's DG or Voda or landline, the calls start to come one after the other. And most of the call, 3/4 of the call is praying for sickness.
Yeah.
And they can pray for their grandparents, both sick.
Yeah.
Their parents, both sick. Or their uncle, sick. So there's a a lot of sickness.
Yeah.
And sickness comes from the wrong lifestyle. Okay, on the investment, some people from the village, they will think, oh, okay, investment is money. But there is an investment in planting, having a farm. And I believe there are some people that they will be watching today. There is a big investment because for us it's okay, we'll always have a piece of land.
Yes.
But we never turn to the land as a resource that we can invest on.
Yeah.
Especially the ginger and the dalo. The price now is very good. But we tend to look at the white-collar job, going to have a job or going to have business like a shop or taxi. But there's a business that is out there, especially for the people they live next to the urban areas. People in Vitilevu, people in Teilevu, Naitasiri. They have land and they can invest instead of them moving to town. There's a big investment that they can reap millions of dollars because of the land that they have. I mean, just go to Waimbao and see, other races. They have acres and acres. And the other one that they have shops in town. Their small farm is looking after or they become the capital for their business. Yeah. So it's there. And for us, it's okay. If we can look around and have wisdom, or we can invest on our land too. Not only in business of shopping and taxis and other building houses.
Yes,
Yeah.
we actually talked to you when we started our family, like what I said last week and the previous week. We didn't have the time, even to sit and plan. And now I am 56, so I am going to be 56 on the month of April this year. And he's going to be turning 60. So we have lived a little bit of life a bit longer than you, if you're younger. And we look back and we say to yourself, okay, if we share the message earlier, maybe some people can take their cue and do something now. And if you're hearing it, or you have access to finances, you may be listening in from abroad, and then you say to yourself, okay, I'm hearing this message now. What can I do now to start earning now or to start making it happen now? Like for us, it took a little bit longer. Even though I grew up in a family that my father organized everything, give us pieces of land within our farm to harvest or to plant and sell our produce. So at the age of 7, I was only in class 2. He opened all our passbook. Those are the upbringing that I grew up into. So everything matters in our family. Like everything that comes, even though we own a shop, we walk to school and our spending is not as much. And sometimes if you're with your friends, you say, oh, we thought you have a shop. You don't have any other money to spend. And I only have 2 cents for my spending. And I walk all the way. For those of you who have been with us then, that school used to be called Lautoka Fijian School. School back to Tomuka, all the way down to Tomuka, to our farm. And by doing that, even though the life was there, but that was just what my father does. And growing out of it, and even in the process, on our piece of land, he built homes or houses for my brothers. Na nangona kito tumadak na kito sikla na valian inongo brother na valengo na inongo brother ko enga sendondua na farm nga kito was nangele me kito tetive kini wili kino ko kironela. So growing up through that way and getting married, because I didn't plan to get married when I was only 18. I got married when I was 18 years of age. So if you are in the year 12 and you are 18 years of age, that was me way back getting married then. I had my daughter, my first child. By the age of 26, I had all my children. And by the age of 39, I had my first grandchild. So my walk into life and introduced into life is very young and exposed faster. When that was happening, when we got married, I didn't take on what I learned from my father. If my father is doing that, I can also take with me. So for me, it was trial and error. Even the piece of land, our farm, and I know my brothers and my sisters actually listening in at one point in time, you'll get to hear this as well. We had these acres of land. When we grew up and make our living and make our life, we all left our land, our farmland, way back in Tomuka. We had about 7 acres. And we continued with our life. And we left behind that, family piece of land. And until somebody came in and said, you have 2 houses there. You have your land there. Can we use it? So we gave it. And now, when I come and start my family, I was only age 18, remember. When I married, or when we got married, straight after that, a few months after that, I bought our first car. So that started to come back, the upbringing that I grew up from. So every money, it's worth. Now $1, it has a worth, it has a value. Every little money that comes, I have to write it down. Where did I use that money? What did I do with that money? So from there on, we built up. We had a rental car, or we had a taxi, we have a hired car, and we have a shop at lot 27 in TV Road in Kinoya. For those of you in those days can remember the little shop in that corner. It's basically opposite the current police post now. And that's where we were renting. We were renting, but we opened a shop there. And growing up, until the conviction just came. So with that early moments of life, there are situations around us that made us do. So we were moving back to Nandi because we work for the airline. And by having the brief, having those briefing from the company, made us bought that property, bought that land, build a home. So there are conditions and situations or workplaces or having a fellowship that have ushered us to do what we did. But for you to listen to it every Saturday, I believe this is a good time for you to take ownership and say to yourself, challenge yourself, can I do that? Don't look at your resources, but as you dream and aspire bigger and you write it down, it becomes a dream all the time and it becomes an achievement all the time. And in your mind, whatever that you do, you know, you believe that that can happen. Au balubieni tiko bertono lubemo sabolien dona motokao bolien na farm o sadaka ben dona kana bali ko tiko kina en domundo se vale rende se vale ni matenitu vale ni kambani e na taro o bakambote ndo dona menda pakatarongi kenda kina beleta tiko no nonda itabi sangwala na nonda bula nonda mata bu vale menda me maro takatang na nonda bula. I mean, you have been blessed with your work. You have been blessed with your family. So you need to sit down and talk about it. We never used to talk about it much as length, but now we do. And years back, I think about 15 years back, we talk about what we are doing, where we are going, and the plans that we have, our children. And even I call all my grandchildren, not all. I have 3 grandsons that come from a broken home. My eldest daughter have these 3 sons. I mean, they're handsome sons. And I value them so much in my life. So I held their hands. We had one of those meetings this week. Look, your dad is happily married and have his own family, and your mom don't have time for you. But you need to stand up today and don't allow that situation to define you. Rise up, trust in God, believe in God. You're still young. One is in year 11, going on to year 12. One is in year 9, going on to year 10. One is in year 8, going on to year 9. And I said, write your list and say to yourself, no, I am God. And I told them, Nana is not getting any younger. Nana is going to die one day. But I will make sure whatever strength that I have, whatever that I can do, and those are the kind of talks that we don't usually have at home. We live life like there's no tomorrow. And if you die today, do you ever ask yourself, where will my family go? What will happen to my children? Those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves. If you really love your family, then stand still and start asking, what am I doing? Where am I going? If something happened to me, if something happened to my workplace where the money is coming in, so you family table talk, please take the time, relook at your family, challenge your heart, and say to yourself, how much do I love for my family? How much do I care for my family moving forward?
Yeah. Na mate tiga buni mula. Kembali ko plenta ka numbulang go. Kay plenta ka tala numbula sa mermay. Lebu nang ona bi kenda na lotu barong tu ko. Kenda plenser tu na lo malangi. Donu gori. Na wa edamu sa bola ini bola nimbula. Wa kan bauti cisunga lo malangi. According to the book. Ya kenda sini plenta ka tu numbulang go. So when dad or mom died and they are the only source of income. Yes. How can we prove that our God look at us because we are struggling?
Yeah.
We are struggling. We move from one house to another house to another house. Some people, even the wife of Talatala, when Talatala died, they don't know what to do. They can't put food on the table because we never planned. This is the time to plan. God gave us the mind to plan. And when we plan about our physical life.
Yes.
We plan about our mental life. That's why we go to school. That's why we go to kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, or to the workforce area, or to tertiary and university. That is planning.
Yeah.
So when we have money, I remember my brothers, they have good job. Most of them, they are given the government quarters. But when we got married, we bought a piece of land and we built a house. And we own a house even earlier than my brothers. They've been working, good money, good pay, good position. It was a planning because we live in Nandi and all my family in Suba. Most of the time, we're not speaking down on family and the workers and the Vivekani. But sometimes the workers and the Vivekani and our social lifestyle become a barrier for us to see our tomorrow. So we are not planning well. So forget about saving. Because we receive our pay today. By Monday, say today is Saturday. Or we receive our pay yesterday or Thursday. By Monday and Tuesday, we start to catching again, asking for bus fare. Because there was no planning. And this is the kind of thing that we never hear 10, 15, 20 years ago. The family table talk. That's why I always emphasize. My TV family table talk is something that encourages us to live a life that is according to the planning that we have. Because we are looking forward to the future. We are looking forward to provide a roof onto our families, our children. Because I don't want to pass this life and my children don't know where to go, what to do. I don't want that. When I live this life, I'm 60. According to the Bible, I have 70 years. No, that means 70 minus 60 is 10. And God normally, if we look after our body, will give bonus. Maybe 72, 73, 74, 75. Those are bonuses. The Bible says 70. And 80, sa kani also. So for me, personally, I got 10 years in front of me.
Yeah, but I want to live until 80 or 90. I want to see my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren.
So when you are planning, these 10 years for me is very short. Short with my family, short as a taltala, as an evangelist. It's very short for me.
Yes.
So I have to do a lot of things. Ecclesiastes, according to Ecclesiastes, Solomon is in taltala. Solomon is in the profita. Solomon is doing abagataki kwa. Kay kahit tukoy ndura tui. Kakuni pagararabi kina no mubuku kina no muyal matua. Pagaronga tagabichoba. Kembalet tuno kwa maltani mbulumbulu senga kina dagdaka, senga kina nabuku, senga kina bakasama. Kembali ko mga degree ko mga masters, dapat todo nga mbulumbulu. Kembali ko sa plenty ko, the kabasar na ka, do everything that you have to do this life and do it properly. And do it to the best of your ability. If you invest building houses, build a lot of houses. If you are a rugby player, play as much as possible and keep your body good so you can play and play. I spoke and prayed over one rugby player in Paris. And I said, if you look after your body and you live a life, you can play top rugby right up when you pass 40. So it's planning. The food that you eat and the lifestyle that you live.
We actually invite a couple. They are seated with us here today. Mr. and Mrs. Malani, and they actually have things to share with you. I will leave everything for them to share. We try to get as much examples of people who have changed their decision or do something about their life on their earning, on their spending to make it happen. They were both high school teachers, not only normal teachers, they are principal and also a vice principal of prestigious schools. So it is more practical and relatable to you, not only what we are saying, but also we have people who have tried. What did they do? So if you can, get yourself to relate to the things that we are trying to share with you, maybe you can relate to some other stories. So we will have them, and also we will try to get another 2 couples. One to speak on the relationship, on what they do, what they did to make it happen. They are here to speak and share anything out of their heart. They can touch on both, either on the relationship or on their finances. What did they do right to make it happen until today? They are also grandparents, and they are parents of beautiful children. So we will give this time to them to share. And Mr. and Mrs. Malani, now when you're on the forum, if you can just share briefly on how you have lived your life from when you started work. We're talking about finances, eh? Naman rombola bakelabo, nabi kakemro the kaba, nabi kakemro dolako the ruma, ni kemro mi biso takasona kakemro mi the kaba, and what happened?
Praise the Lord. My name is Tusating Malani. I am from Tumbo Lakambalau, and I was brought up from my mother's hometown in Nawa, because my mother is from Ngalo and Sierra. Praise the Lord. When I graduated as a school teacher, primary school teacher, in 1986, my plan was to not to get married for 5 years, first 5 years. For me to save money, build a house, buy a car, and then by then we were friends. And she's from Bonolebu. She was brought up in the village. I was brought up in the suburbs of Nusuri when I was in year 11. Praise the Lord, eh? Because my mom and dad, they were both school teachers, and they taught around the vicinity of Telebu South, Nusuri, from Berata to Mokani, all this. Praise the Lord, eh? So I was still starting my saving. In my second year, I used to have fixed deposits in account in NZ, Missouri. Accidentally, in one of the second week's 2 weeks holidays, Randini, when she was still my girlfriend, she came to Suba from Bonolebu, and I met her in Suba. We visited a nightclub, and then we ended up home. And in the morning, my dad told me, "You brought one girl last night." Yeah, she's my girlfriend. Okay. She won't go back to the village. It was Christmas holidays. She won't go back to the village because of what you have done. You have to buy one hulo tambua. Praise the Lord, eh? And they went for the mbulumbulu, and I paid for from the money I was saving in the bank, I paid for all the expenses. They went by boat to Sabu, Sophie, one taxi from Sabu to a village in Buddha, do all the culture thing. And Ranjini was there at home, and then we got married December 1987.
This is really good on what they're sharing. If you can relate to what he is sharing with you today, the decision you make. He had plans to save, but other things, come in the way. And listen to him on what did they do from that time. Initial plan, so you can be sitting on the same too. Maybe you when you're growing up, you have great plans. And somehow it didn't work. And this is very relatable to your situation as well.
So from there, as I have said, I was just saving for the second year. I was planning to save for 5 years in order to buy a piece of land